Hey guys, Thunderset here, bringing you a brand new archetype from the latest mini box. It's MELODIOUS. Now, it's been a really long time since I've done this, guys, but I'm going to call this box completely skippable. So unless you really like ninjas, or you really like red eyes, and then even if you really like red eyes, this isn't a must-have box. But you gotta really love ninjas to want to dig through this box. It's totally skippable. This archetype is fun, and they're doing something unique, but they're not going to run away with the meta by any means. So don't worry about this mini box. If you really got to spend your gems wisely and invest, don't invest in this box. Sorry to come so late and say this. Maybe you've spent some gems already, but just don't worry about this deck. The only way I would say dig through it even once is if you're a Yosenju's fan, and even then you don't need 3 copies of that new Yosenju's card. So, skippable box. It's been a while since I've seen a box be fully skippable, but this is a fully skippable box, guys. So skip it if you can. Anyway, what is this deck? MELODIOUS. They're a fusion deck technically, but we're not really using poly. You're just special summoning monsters really easily through their own inherent archetype skills. We're using balance, so we can get to this spell card really fast. It's called First Movement. If you control no monsters, special summon one level 4 lower melodious monster from your hand or deck. So any one of our monsters, we can just special summon it. We can only special summon melodious monsters when we use this card. That's all we're trying to do anyway. We only have 2 boss monsters. So you can special summon any one of your boys. Now you can normal summon any one of your boys, and that's all it takes is 2 melodious monsters and you get your boss monster. So how are we doing the fusion without poly? It's the super rare from the box, Soprano the Melodious Songstress. When this card is, I'm butchering his names, when this card is special summoned, you can target one melodious monster in your graveyard, accept itself, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials, including this card. That's weird it says once per turn, because I'm pretty sure it's not once per turn. I'm pretty sure I do it more than once in these replays. So it's kind of weird it says once per turn you can fusion summon, but I'll show you multiple in the replays, so pretty weird that it says that. I'm just now noticing that. It says once per turn, but you pretty much just fusion summon with this card, kind of like Gravekeepers, but it only takes 2. So she's special summoned with this, or this. You can add a card from your graveyard to your hand, which is very useful. It's also a little mini combo with Solo. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon her. That's very useful, because then you can special summon Solo, then normal summon Soprano, and that's your boss monster. Or when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one melodious monster from your deck. So if she gets destroyed, you can special summon Soprano. When Soprano is special summoned, you get to add her back to your hand. Then you can normal summon her next turn and fusion summon into your fusion monster. Very useful. We also have Sonata. If you control a melodious monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. While this card is a special summon card on the field, all fairy type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Very strong card, but we don't need too many of them. We got to keep our deck nice and thin for balance. As for spell cards, we're using some econs, and this card, specific to the archetype, it's Fortissimo. Once per turn, you can target one melodious monster you control. It gains 800 attack until your next standby phase. You can send this card from your graveyard to fusion summon one melodious monster from your extra deck. So it's another way to get your fusions out. You can also bump up your attack to help your monsters out a little. It's a very useful card, especially at 1. And then we're taking advantage of Super Team Buddy Force Unite. It gets all our monsters back. It gets our boss monsters back. It'll trigger her effect to add to the from the graveyard to your hand. Works out perfectly for this deck. Also keeps your hand fat to allow you to use Regeki Breaks. Using Regeki Breaks, throwing away monsters, also lets you fish those monsters back out from the graveyard with First Movement and Soprano. So it's a lot of little mini combos, but like I said, it's not running away with the game. So what does our boss monster even do? During either player's turn, you can target up to 3 cards in the graveyard, banish them. If you do, gain 200 for each. So if she gets up to 3,000, you can banish any cards from any graveyards. Works well against cards that need graveyard setup, obviously. So, you know, if you're messing up Shiranui, I have a replay hitting some red eyes and just stuff that needs the graveyard. That's why they're supposed to be impacting the meta. They're supposed to be scaring you away from graveyard effects, but they're just not strong enough to do it. And the other boss monster that's actually rare is Bloom Prima. She takes this girl, Shiberta Mastra. She takes Mastra and another Melodious monster, so you would use Soprano and Mastra, and then maybe a third, and you gain this girl. If you use 3, she's 2,800. If you just use 2, which is the basic minimum, she's 2,500, but she can make a second attack during each battle phase, so she can get to 2,500, swing twice. You also, when she's destroyed, sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Melodious monster in your graveyard added to your hand. So she's a little deeper. You gotta really know what you're doing to even want to summon her, because you have to get rid of your original boss monster. But other than that, like I said, this box is skippable, guys. This archetype's not running away with the meta. Don't fret over the box too much. Wait for a next box. Skip this one, save your gems, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, here's Pegasus going second. He's got a 23 card deck there. This is second stage Casey Cup, so I don't know if it, or first stage. So anyway, we start with our first solo movement. We bring out a Soprano. We special summon a Diva. Normal summon another Soprano. So this is why it clearly says once per turn you can fusion summon 1 Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck. But I'm about to do it twice per turn. So that was once. And this is twice. It says once per turn, right? Am I just tripping? Or is Bloom not a Melodious? Yeah, she's Melodious Choir. So anyway, I had 2 Sopranos. I make a Shiberta, and then I use the second Soprano to use the Shiberta and a Bloom, or to make the Bloom. So now the Bloom attacks a face-down tuner, hits him for 2,500. You get to Super Team Buddy Force Unite a Shiberta right back. So that's why we were freely using her as fusion fuel. It's just really weird. Soprano says once per turn. You just saw me do it twice per turn. So, pretty strange. Anyway, our opponent still has plays. He gets his Squire Saga out. We banish all the cards in his graveyard before he's able to do anything. But the Squire effects lets him draw a Spirit Master, and then he discards the Spirit Master. He's able to do that with the Squire Saga. Chooses to destroy our Bloom, but when Bloom's destroyed, we get to add a monster to our hand. We add our Sonata. Sonata increases us by 500. We special summon her. Normal summon solo. Hit him for more than lethal. Big up there. So, guys, you tell me. When you just saw me use Soprano's fusion 2 times in a duel, it says once per turn. So how's that happening? Is it wrong? Was that play wrong? What's going on? Let me know. Okay, here's a Yami Yugi. We're going first. 20 cards in this boy's deck. He's also using balance. Very interesting. Let's see whose deck is more balanced. We're going to start with first movement. That special summon Songstress. Then we normal summon solo. Use Soprano's effect to bring out Shiberta. Then we set out our Super Team Buddy Force Unite. It is a Dark Magician, guys. He uses Dark Magical Circle to search a Magician. Already has 1 card set. Uses Magician's Rod to search a Dark Magic attack. Sets another card. We're going to Super Team Buddy Force Unite in his end phase. We special summon our Soprano. That lets us add solo to the hand. Bread and butter of the combos. Here we're going to special summon our Sonata. She brings out Mastria. We also normal summon another solo. We swing at the little boy. That's going to trigger his Magician's Navigation. Here comes the first Dark Magician. And there's the second. But we have 2 of our Shibertas out. So he's going to banish 1. The one he doesn't banish, we're going to use to get rid of his Magician's Navigation. And now we're up to 3k. So no negate for him. And we're over his Dark Magicians. He kills our solo. When solo's killed, she gets to special summon from the deck. we special summon Soprano. When Soprano special summons, you get to add a card from your graveyard. This solves the synergy. Here we tried to normal summon a solo. She gets Champion Vigilance, so we special summon Sonata. He tries to Canadia our Shiberda, but she just flips back up. Granted, she did lose her attack, but we just banish cards from his grave to get it right back. 1700, 3500, 1900. Very, very strong monsters. 600 life points left for him. This time we're going to actually use Soprano to get 2 of our Shiberdas. That makes for a scoop of a top tier deck. Great, great stuff, guys. Okay, here we are facing a Yusei. Going first. Like going first with a balanced deck, always works out pretty well. Here our opponent's just using life point boost. So nice balanced hand, but not even like the sickest hand in the world. We're gonna save this girl for a live Regeki break. He's gonna Cosmic Cyclone our Econ. That's a good target to get Cosmic Cyclone. Here he's gonna try to Red Eyes Fusion. Search that Red Eyes Fusion with an Insight. Dumps a Lightning. Now he's gonna actually activate the Red Eyes Fusion for a Slash Dragon. We are going to Regeki break that Slash Dragon. Has to pass his turn. We top deck a Soprano. We get to Super Team Buddy Force our solo right back. That's our Shiberda, guys. Fantastic play. Our opponent tries to Red Eye Spirit. We're going to change Shiberdas to banish from the graveyard. We banish the 80 Changer, the Lightning, and of course the Slash Dragon to negate the Red Eye Spirit. We hit him with that. 3,000 damage, 1,000 left for him. We special summon a Diva. Remember, you won't get her attack if you don't special summon her. She attacks into a DD Warrior Lady, gets banished, but our 3K monster's still there just fine for lethal. Great, great stuff, guys. Okay, here we are fighting Sartorius. Kind of an older deck, but like I said, we're in KC Cup first stage, so we're going to see some older, lesser decks. But it still makes for interesting replays. Our opponent is using Master of Destiny. We have a pretty good hand. This is a Shiberda first hand. We normal summon Soprano, special summon Sonata. Sonata will special summon whenever you have another Melody monster. That's our Shiberda, and an enemy controller, and a Super Team Buddy Force Unite. As long as we save our Super Team Buddy Force Unite for our Soprano, we're going to get the Sonata back too. Here our opponent tries to Blast Spider us. We're going to Econ take him. So even if he destroys us, he won't get a Desperado special summon. We top deck another Diva. We're going to Super Team Buddy Force Unite our Diva, but this slick guy over here uses Fiend Comedian, which banishes all our cards from our graveyard, negating our Super Team Buddy Force and leaving our Diva all alone. She gets Time Wizard. This guy's used all his head calls, so we're doing okay now. We just need to keep top decking monsters just like this. Swing over that baby monster, and he's not the right type for a Desperado. Here we get a Fiendish Chain. He hits us with the Temperance to stall us a little more. Gotta keep that Desperado out of here. Get an Econ now. Finally an attack goes through. He probably has like counter traps or something. Who knows? Here comes the Blast Spider trying to use his effect. We're gonna Fiendish Chain that boy because we don't want to see no Desperados. Now we have him for lethal over it. Great, great stuff, guys. Okay, here we are versus Mokuba. Going first, we're both trying to dual level up, but only one of us will. We're using balance to get our hand nice and consistent. This is not a very good hand, but we're still going to pull it out. We use the Fortissimo. Fortissimo puts solo up to 2,400. We have an enemy controller and a Super Team Buddy Force Unite. We're going to enemy controller a Blackstone of Legend. He's 0 attack, guys. Now we get a first movement solo. We special summon Soprano. Soprano's going to let us search solo back to our hand. Now we normal summon solo. We can use Soprano's effect to special summon Shiberda. Shiberda's going to attack directly for 2,400. We're going to Super Team Buddy Force Unite a 1,600 monster for a perfect lethal. Great, great stuff, guys. So like I said, this deck has some interesting plays. It's doing something very unique, and it's not bad. It's consistent. It has a clear win con. It's just not the strongest deck in the world. It's not going to crack any tier lists, I don't believe. It's just a good way, maybe a little rogue deck. Maybe people will mix it up, mix it with other things. Till then, though, don't worry about this mini box. Like I said, skippable box, save your gems. Thanks for watching, guys.